Hello, beautiful souls. How are you all doing? How have you been surviving the intense energies of last few days? I really hope you have been doing well. Hang on, I just all right. I hope that's better. So, now yesterday Neptune has gone retrograde. Okay, so I'm going to start talking a little bit what that means for certain twin flames. Um, Also, there have been quite a few messages which I have been getting over last few days, to the point I was like, I don't know what to say, how to say so much. And so one of the messages which I think I have got for very select few, and either going to resonate with you, or you are going to know if it's for you. Those this is particularly for those who have been on this journey for a particularly long time, or have the divine feminine has been who has done her clearing, her inner work, who has been working on her soul mission, and yet has suddenly realized in the last few days that her divine masculine is not really even trying to wake up, is not even trying to. And not that they because a lot of work has been happening on autopilot while they have been sleeping, while they have been engrossed in their work and stuff. But um, the message was, the time is up. Okay, so for a certain few in a wave, um, the time is up for the divine masculines. And uh, from now, or from this Neptune retrograde, the summer solstice, as well as the eclipse season, there will be a lot of divine interventions. There will be a lot of tower moments. There will be a lot of changes, transformation, epiphanies, aha moments for that particular wave of the divine masculines. For I'll just come to the other waves. First, let me speak about this Neptune retrograde, which is also going to be assisting, especially the twin flames. For the collective, it means a slightly different thing. Um, but I'm going to be speaking about divine partnerships. You can associate with the label of um, divine love, or soulmates, or twin flames, or whatever. uh, but in this phase, you are going to be able to see through the veil. You might be suddenly getting visions, your psychic abilities might increase, your telepathic communication, not just with your divine masculine but with others, will be really, really on the spot, on the mark, and you'll start trusting it much more. For example, the transmissions or these messages that I receive, for the longest time, even though I knew they were correct, I never shared them openly. And I was kind of um, reluctant to, thinking maybe my mind has come to this interpretation, or what if it is, something else, and it's not divine guidance, and what if it's not for others, what if it's just for me. That kind of, there was a lot of skepticism within me. And over the last 1.5, 2 years, my confidence to speak up has increased phenomenally. And then I started getting feedbacks from people, and how many it was really resonating with, and it really was amazing. And then I found certain, uh, like last about 10, 12 days ago, I received certain messages, and I was going to speak about it. And I like I said yesterday, I did post for the collective in my audio. updates with the what is happening with the retrogrades and the eclipses. uh, but I had not been managing to come online. And then yesterday, uh, a reader was talking about another reader, and so I said, okay, why not check it out? And it was awesome. It was I hope I'm back online. There's something really wrong with the network. So I found it was shocking to even hear my own words come out of somebody else's mouth. So the transmissions are so identical no matter where you are on the globe. Um, so, with this Neptune retrograde, a lot of those who are ready, who have already shed the matrix, or who have understood what the illusions are, who have been working on detachment and working on unconditional love, who have been clearing their karma, have been living in gratitude, have been living in light, have been living in service, have been doing all those things. For them, certain abilities are going to increase. Those who are still confused, who are fence sitters, this is the time when all illusions will be shattered, right? So a lot of realities will be thrown at them. For others, they might find it very challenging because they don't know what's real, what's not real. They'll be very, very confused. But those in resistance, okay, for them it is a slightly dangerous time because uh, they are being shown it. I just saw 717, those who know the significance. So um, those who are, okay, I won't, how should I say this in a non-offensive way? There'll be a lot who will not be able to deal with uh, this, the new reality they are being introduced to. It is really shaking up their core beliefs because they've been holding on very fast. They have been resisting at every level when their higher self, their guides, their masters have been trying to show them, including certain friends, certain relationships which are toxic for them, certain work environment which is toxic for them, which is not meant for them, and they've been resisting. And now, when the illusions will be, the veils will be kind of pulled off, or the illusions are going to be shattered, and there is no escape, be it through their addictions, be it through the escape mechanisms that they have been relying on. It's not going to help them anymore, and they will have to face, a lot of them might go through anxiety attacks, panic attacks. You might find even in the collective a lot of people going through depression, going through mental breakdowns, even a rise in suicide attempts, overdosing, and stuff like that might be occurring around you. So hold space for them. If you can, pray for them, send them light. And if you yourself are facing depressions and a lack of motivation, because this is a time when you have to find your own motivation, you have to motivate yourself, to be it to do your inner work, be it to do your physical exercises. I have been really resisting getting started on my physical exercises. So if you find that that you are going through a certain heavy energy, sense of depression, doom and gloom, or something in the next few months, I'm not saying this is a phase, next few months, please use the crimson flame. It works pretty much on the same principle as the violet flame. You see yourself, clear your energies and sit taking in light, grow your roots, and then from the center of your heart, there's a crimson flame, and you see it, just increasing, expanding till the entire you is covered inside out, top to bottom is inside this crimson flame. And this not only helps you let go of old grief and old pain and stuff, but also brings you energies of unconditional love, and expands and brings you joy and helps you align with the bandwidth of happiness, joy, and things like that. um, so with the Neptune going retrograde, there are a lot of things along with tensions in your sexual relationships, temptations coming in, also anything that you have been operating on from lack. Hi, Mishupi, welcome. I'm so glad you're online. So, with where you have been denied, for example, sexual pleasures, or you have been victimized or made a prey, or you yourself have been the abuser, or you have certain um, lower energies and not yet reached the understanding of sacred um, intimacy. There's certain words we are not allowed to, I think we are not allowed to say on YouTube. So uh, if you have not been in the understanding of that, then a lot of those issues will be brought up, including sexual trauma if you have not healed it, if you have been a victim, be it in this lifetime, at any time, or in a past life, or across timelines. That is going to be brought up. There's a lot of clearing happening in the sacral chakra since last few weeks. I've spoken about it. Women especially might be finding strange kind of sensations, which are not really pain but strange sensations around their uterus and the whole reproductive system. So that is happening, but a lot of those issues with Mars going to go retrograde, and that is going to tie up with what is happening with the Neptune bringing going deep into your psyche and your subconscious, and with Mars going into retrograde, your sexual issues, where you're not being able to take charge of your sexual life, where you're uncomfortable taking the initiative, or where there's a lot of shame and guilt, or where you have hang-ups, where you have hesitations, that's going to really come up. So what does that mean for the twin flames? It means that the clearing has to happen so that the divine sacred union is understood in its true form, without guilt and shame and perversion and titillation and stuff like that. What is going on with the divine masculines right now? For some, this is not for all, so take what resonates with you. There's some who are still struggling to find their voice. They're not really sure. It's like one step in and one step out. Like yesterday, I was very faintly hearing in my mind that should I move on, should I stay? And I was like, why am I back in that dance now? I'm again considering, and I was like, but this doesn't really feel like me. And then I began to understand this is not my thoughts. This is again the divine masculine kind of in the dilemma, because he knows he has to make a choice, a decision, be it whatever situation that they do need to alter, because they're not happy there. They know inside that it's toxic for them. They know there is no growth, and it has lived its entire journey. The circle has completed, the karmic cycle has completed, and they need to take certain decisions. But because the divine feminine is the trigger, the divine feminine is the one that is kind of energetically making them think, they kind of blame. A lot of the divine masculines kind of blame, and they think that certain things are happening because of you, or you are doing it to them, though it's not. It's their higher self that is causing certain things to happen. But they are going through this whole should I, shouldn't I, should I walk away? And they know that because they have been in a lot of emotional sadness for last few weeks, they know that they do miss the divine feminine. They do want to connect with her. They have been in very vulnerable energies. And so for example, I reached out to my divine masculine, and he might choose to think that I'm doing this for me, But the real thing is, and I didn't mention it at all to him, is because I knew he's struggling, he's going through a lot. And so to give the energetic support, it's like a message a day. And he does respond in a line or a few words, but it is nothing. It is uh, we are not even talking like friends, we are not even, there's nothing. But I'm just I just made sure that my energetic presence is there to support him. You don't need to do that if you're not guided to do that. You can do that in your meditation if you wish to support your divine masculine or feminine if they are struggling, because the divine feminines who have more of the masculine energies, they're essentially divine masculines too. So they are still struggling to find their voice, they're still struggling to accept their truths, they're still struggling, they're, in fact, some of them are running and hiding from the divine guidances they're receiving, the synchronicities, the dream state, wherever they are being spoken to, but they are being healed. But it just means that they're taking a lot longer. The divine feminines in this meantime are feeling a bit detached, kind of feeling meh or blah, and feel like they might even think they've lost interest. They might think, mm, I don't care which way it works out. It's not that you don't care, it's that your energies are right now in perfect balance. So you're able to hold fast. You can shine your light. You can be the conduit for the divine energy. Somebody has to be in balance and out of the drama, out of the ego. So how the divine masculine is choosing to take your interactions or your relationship, leave it to them, leave it to them to figure it out. Okay, what the divine masculine is not realizing is, for example, 3D had a certain set of rules, okay, which is equivalent for here. Basketball, it had, basketball has certain rules, and this is what you have to do, this is how you dribble, this is how you are allowed to defend yourself, this is how you are allowed to shoot the basket, and this is how you score. And now, when the divine masculine is being put in the transition from 3D to 4D or 4D to 5D, he is struggling to grasp the change that has happened in the rules, in the system, what he was holding on and protecting since centuries. In fact, he's the one who implemented them in the society most of the time. And now those rules have suddenly changed, and what he's not realizing is, although some parts of the game look similar, now we are playing quidditch, we are no longer playing basketball. I hope that analogy makes sense, right? But they are really struggling. Not just the divine masculines, a lot of divine feminines as well are struggling, because they wish to see the old structures, the old definitions, the old way of things, of relationships. And when that kind of is not happening, even the divine feminines kind of get dejected and demotivated and wonder what the hell is going on. And when things are not going according to plan or their timeline or their wishes, they are like, I can't do this anymore and I want out. For those who are probably in the third wave or the second, whatever, they're still struggling, right? But for the divine masculine, it is almost like the sport changed midway, and they don't know what the rule is. They thought they were watching a basketball match or participating in a basketball match, but here is quidditch. Yeah, there's a basket, yeah, you have to put a ball through, but you're flying, and there you have bats in your hand, and you have to catch a snitch, and god knows what is happening. So the divine masculines are carrying, and they're struggling a lot. In a, I think, the first wave, second wave, the divine masculines are really struggling. They are being, going through a lot of stuff. But the best thing I have realized is, now slowly, at least the veil, the not the veil, the pressure of that immense sadness is kind of leaving. And hopefully with this Neptune retrograde, they will be able to see through the manipulative behavior of people around them, the toxic behavior around them, who they thought they were their friends. For example, for certain very specific divine masculines, I'm getting the message, there is a very close friend of yours, a masculine friend, he's a male, and he comes to your home, he's very close, and he is misguiding you, he's in fact somewhere betraying you. Of course it is for different people, but there is something, he's poisoning the ear is right now the image I was suddenly shown. um, and you need to, the divine masculines will slowly start realizing uh, what is true, what is not. For a lot of the twin flames, there has been brief communications, a lot of them are slowly moving towards each other. The third and fourth waves are getting activated, and soon might be going into, the first meeting, the activation, and then of course the drama of the perhaps the separation. There are very few who do manage to stay together and work through things together while being in a relationship with each other. In most, the masculine or the feminine, the one who has more of the lower density energies, runs, because they just can't handle the intensity. It freaks them out, it scares the shit out of them, and plus they cannot seem to make sense. For example, divine masculines who have been afraid of true intimacy or true love, or who feel they don't deserve love, or those who have been commitment phobics. And when the kind of love not only do they receive from the divine feminine, but the intensity they feel towards her, they find it very scary, because they somewhere feel, if I do go to her, I will never be able to then live without her. And they are confusing the intensity for codependency, or that they are going to um, lose their sovereignty, their independence, or they have those fears. It's their business, they need to heal it. But the problem is, a lot of them are resisting the healing that is even coming to them. um okay, so there is going to be a lot of communication in the higher realms with your divine partner. There's going to be increase in telepathy. I just mentioned that, but with the Neptune in retrograde, definitely. Now, what's happening, and I wanted to bring a quick warning, is from summer solstice, because there are a lot of activation depending on which wave you are in and what's going on in your personal journey, but a lot of changes. So don't resist. The more you go with the flow and allow things to happen, okay, you've already been given the guidance, what is the next step you have to take. Now, if you're going to listen to others, and especially those who are 3D people, you are going to create obstacles on a path where the universe is supporting you. The universe is guiding you to take that new path. And if you're going to listen to others and not follow your heart right now, please, everybody, just follow your heart, your soul. Your heart listens more to your soul than your mind. Your mind keeps coming up with uh, past experiences from the 3D and trying to give you logic, and the mind is more connected to the ego rather than the heart, right? So uh, yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, the divine masculine and the divine feminines are right now being encouraged to speak their truth, to accept their truth, to live their truth. So, which is what I was just saying, that if you've already been given your guidance, please follow it, no matter what you think, who's it is, what others' opinions are, or how they will dislike you, or your popularity ratings are going to go down. End of the day, it doesn't really matter, and those who really love you will understand your journey. Those who are your true soul family are going to support your decisions, and those who don't, they don't belong in your life any which way, right? So follow your guidance, follow your there'll be a lot of messages coming to you in your dream state. So in the now that the eclipse season is going to be starting, there might be certain people from your past, be it friends, not necessarily opposite sex, but also your exes from your opposite sex or whatever. Certain family issues, be it with your parents, be it with your siblings, certain things that need closure, they might come around either in your physical realm or in your dream state. Like last night I dreamt of a friend of mine who was a very good friend of mine when I was in class 5. And last, I don't know, at least a decade or so, we are not really in touch at all. I don't even have a number now. And it was very beautiful. And I was making an embroidery thingy for her. And I'm not very great with needlework, right? I can do the basic cross stitch and the straight stitch and all. And after that, no. uh, I never practice that much. It's my sister is wonderful with embroidery. Oh my god, she's meticulous. Her front and back look identical. I can tell you that much. So, without digressing more, you might find them coming back for closures. But a lot of people might get mistaken because we are also being tested at this time. So, you might get tempted to get into a relationship, say with your catalyst. But for some, where the divine masculine has made zero or no progress, which I really find it hard to believe that they have not made any progress, but certain soulmates are going to be stepping in. Certain other divine partners are going to be stepping in, not necessarily in a very romantic or intimate way, but for some, yes, you will actually move away from your twin for some time, at least, till, because maybe their journey is going to, they have gone back into one of the old loops, which is going to take them much longer. So the divine feminine has to continue with her journey. She has to keep moving forward. And now, like, I have been feeling very stagnant and stuck, not in my life, not in my thing, but one part of me feels very, there's no movement, I'm bored, I'm losing interest, kind of energy, right? So there will be something coming in during these eclipse season, which is from 13 July to August. And I have spoken about it, but let me give you the dates very quickly. Uh, where are the dates? I had so much information that yesterday I actually made notes for the collective, because there's so many dates and so many, and I had already written down some of the transmission for uh, the twin flames. I can't seem to find the page where the eclipse, here it is. So the eclipses are, partial solar eclipse is on July 13. The total lunar eclipse, which is very powerful, it's going to be really impacting the twin flames big time, is July 27th, I think. And the solar eclipse is of August 11th. So that's why this, that's like a month almost. And of course the energies start before and continue for a few more days and weeks after. So a lot of changes going to be happening. Last year the eclipse really turned my world upside down. That's when my separation from my masculine started happening. But what the solar eclipse is also going to bring you is fated events, divine interventions. A lot of things that were supposed to leave are going to leave. Okay, so don't mourn it too much. Just take, how should I say, the surrender path, the trust and gratitude path, and live in love and light. Just keep doing Ho'oponopono, involved on this path and this journey, even those who you might be detaching from or leaving behind. Okay. You're going to be challenged to speak your truth, to be assertive, to no longer play the victim, to be submissive and docile. You're really going to, because you have to complete certain cycles. And for example, you're carrying on infinity. Okay, you're carrying on a certain pattern. Now the time has come for it to open up from the infinity to become a circle. When you open the infinity sign, it becomes a circle. You have to bring closure, and once you have done that, if it is moving upward like in a spiral, okay, it becomes a triangle, the with the trinity, okay. That's what we are aiming towards. Now, I have written in the title that the divine masculine is Lambert. So, vis-a-vis that, I'm going to leave a link in the description box. It is a very beautiful cartoon film from our childhood, my childhood, and it is about lion's cub that is accidentally delivered to a mother lamb, a sheep, a ewe, and she raises him, she loves him, but all the other lambs, they make fun of him because he looks different, he behaves different, his tail is different, his ears are different, and all that, and they bully him. And he feels very left out, he feels like an outcast. And then when he grows up, he's learned to behave like the sheep, and a wolf kind of attacks their tribe, and he is also sitting and quivering and shaking and so frightened because he thinks he's a sheep, till something snaps in him in a moment, because his mother is being dragged off by the wolf, and the lion in him awakens. And what is a wolf in front of a lion, right? So he comes into his true identity in the snap of a moment. And I feel, or I have been shown, that the divine masculine has been convinced by the people around him so that they can use his energy, make him serve them, make him work for their approval by not giving them their love, their approval, their praise, and by keeping him trapped in, this is your responsibility, this is your obligation, you promise this, that, and if not you, who will take care of this, and blah. So they are keeping him shackled and trapped, and they have convinced him he's a sheep. They have made fun of all the things that were his special abilities, his special gifts, his individual power, and they mocked it to the point that he has suppressed it really, really down, and which is why he's not being able to access it, or is frightened to. But there will be something that triggers him during this solar eclipse. Of course, sometimes the play out time is about 6 months or so. So, but it will start around that time, around the time of July and August. The tower moments, or the epiphanies, or the death of the ego, the death of the emotional pain, or the slavery. They have been made into slaves emotionally. And that is going to just, something is going to happen, and they're going to roar. So I'm going to leave the description in the description box. I'm going to leave the link for that cartoon film for those of you who want to watch it, because it's beautiful, it's so cute. Also, what I wanted to speak about for the divine feminines is, right now, no matter what you're feeling, no matter how you're feeling, no matter how detached or tired you're feeling, because both divine masculines and feminines are weary at different levels, at different forms. The divine feminines, you have to just ensure that being detached is fine, not having expectations or conditions of the outcome and stuff is fine, but do not again build a wall around your heart. In fact, lead the way by taking your leap of faith, be it in your career, in your profession, in your service, be it you have to move away from your karmic partners, be it you having to stand up against your parents or society. Do what you're guided to do, because now the time has come for you to just keep going with the flow. You are going to be taken forward, you just are going to be taken forward. Rebalancing of energies may be required daily, okay, for light workers, star seeds, and twin flames or divine partnerships. Rebalancing of energies might be required on a daily basis, okay. Keep your interactions with the 3D people, with outside people, to a bare minimum. If you can um, not be on social media, not be constantly chatting and stuff, try and do that. Please avoid newspapers, watching news, watching advertisements. Be careful and mindful of the images you're taking in. This is a powerful time for you because of Neptune. That if you have visualization boards, or if you have words like trust, faith, surrender, unconditional love, and you can post it, stick it around. Or if you want inner courage, post the picture of a lion, things like that. If you want to do, it will really work, because right now you're going to get direct access to your psyche, to your subconscious, and you'll be allowed to work with certain issues if you do decide to take charge of your own healing. So um yeah, you have to try and meditate every day, balance your yin and yang, uh, tr- clear all your chakras, including your earth chakra, including your earth star, including your soul star, including your 13th. My 13th chakra was activated, which is with my twin flame, and I was so excited. It was so beautiful. I'm going to convert it into a guided meditation for those of you who are interested, and it was amazing. So I just thought I'll share that. And so you have to keep your what you are taking in, and visual, the images. Thank you. And the images go in much faster and directly into your subconscious mind. So be it binge watching Netflix or television or things, be very careful that you don't do that. Or the songs that you're listening to, are they pessimistic? Are they about broken hearts? Are they about giving up? Are they about, sad? They might be beautiful songs, but you are allowing them to enter your subconscious mind without filter. And then that's the energy you're carrying, so that's what you're going to manifest and bring into your life, right? So be careful of what you're saying, what you are thinking, and especially be mindful of how you speak to yourself. What are your inner thoughts when you're conversing with yourself? Are you constantly self-depreciating? Are you constantly telling yourself, you're such a loser, you can't never do anything right, my mom was right, or my wife was right, or I'm just never going to finish this? How are you talking to yourself? Just be very, very mindful of every word and thought that you are going through. The minute you think something negative, just clear, cut, and think the reverse, in or that I choose to now be more responsible. I choose to now be successful. I now choose to be prosperous. I now choose to make healthy choices, things like that. So immediately start doing the reverse of what you were thinking negatively about yourself or feeding yourself negatively. If there are people around you who just keep bringing down your energies and have nothing positive to say to you, uh, even if you don't want to say a permanent bye, but for some time, just kind of keep them at arm's length and don't let them take up your time and energy. Just focus. This is going to be slightly volatile energies for most, okay? So depending on like which wave you're in, like I said, some of you might be meeting, you might be some of you might be entering your separation. Some of you, the reconnection and the reconciliation may start. Some of you, new partners might be sent in because there needs to be something to shift the energies of the divine masculines. For others, they're all kind of different things, which is why it took me quite a few days, because I was like, I don't know how much to speak and what to say. But for some, definitely the time has run out, and now you have to take that leap of faith. You have been procrastinating, you have been delaying, you have been not giving the energy that certain decisions need to be taken, and now it's going to be enforced. So the eviction notice has been served, let's say like that. A lot of karmic cycles are coming to a close. So you will just know that it's time to move on. The test, okay, some of you are going to be tested and to see if you've really learned your lesson. So you might find repetitive patterns or old issues surfacing. So if you really have done your inner clearing, if you really learned the lesson, keep that in mind when a similar situation to something you've been through before. What were you used to doing, and what were the epiphanies that I need to stand up for myself, or I need to be assertive, or I need to draw my boundaries, I need to, be more open hearted, I need to be more generous. Whatever it was, now is the time to put it into practice, because you will definitely be tested. uh, there will be some who will be tempted with an alternative relationship. So the way to check for it is why you want to do it. Are you going to do it because you're tired, but you're least interested in the other person, but you're just tired of this person? Are you going to do it because it's a safer option? Are you wanting to do it because you'll receive financial, emotional, or some other form of safety, security? Are you doing it out of void? Are you doing it out of fear of being alone, or that no one will ever love you, or whatever? If any one of those are the reasons, don't fall into that pit, okay? If you are there and you know you have the ability to give love, to give joy, to be able to receive equally, if you're finding yourself and that other person happy, it's raising both your vibrations, you both seem to be growing together, then sure. But avoid pitfalls of temptations. You will be tempted. The energies are going to be dense and intense at times. So those of you who are working with me, please, if there is some time when you're really feeling lost, confused, or something like that, you can please SMS me, because I'm currently not really checking my WhatsApp and stuff. I'm not on social media. I know it's a little hard to get to me, but it's deliberately so. Okay, so I'm going to leave you all with that, and there's so much more. I don't know how many videos do I need to make to even get to the, like, okay, now I have done all that I have noted down in the last few weeks and months. But I'll be back very soon, and I'm going to leave you all with a lot of love and light. If you have any questions once I log out, please leave it in the comments section. If you feel you have resonated and you have liked the guidances, please do give it a like, do share it in groups, or with people who might benefit from it. And I do appreciate all your love, all your comments, and everything. Do spread the word, do spread, just share it on your groups, whatever social media you're in. And I leave you all with a lot of love and light, and I hope that you did find a guidance that resonated with you. God bless you. This is Nikita.